Hey all, we gotta help our good pal Marcus Brown. You guys know, you may not know the name, but you know the face. He was the kind gentleman, a young man, that is on the cover of The Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty. And he's also the one who did the photography, did everything. The man is actually quite talented. I don't say that, I mean you can see that. But look up the Marcus, the MABE Experience. I think it's MABEexperience.com. Just Google search it. And we were chatting and talking. I was in his apartment. I'm looking around. I'm like, I see any movies? Yeah, not really. I said, well, you ever see this or that? And he said, no, he didn't see Die Hard. And no, he didn't see that. I said, like, and then I realized, I mean, like, there were some key ones he hadn't seen. And I'm like, have you seen, like, Indiana Jones? Thinking everybody on the planet has seen Indiana Jones. Kids 30 years old hasn't seen Indiana Jones. And so, not only me, but another guy, I won't mention names because I want to keep people anonymous. Like, we're interrogating this poor kid. This kid has seen nothing. Like, fucking, I don't know how. I don't care if you grew up on the south side of Chicago. I don't know how you haven't seen some of these movies. So what I said, I tell Marcus, I put together, like, a list of things that he had to do. And I realized it's basically just becoming my top 10 list. And I thought I'd share with all the Cappy Caplites the top 10 movies that you absolutely must see. Now, in fair warning, this is, of course, my own personal list. It doesn't mean you'd like any of these movies. And, of course, it is heavily skewed towards male preferences on account that I am a male. And I'm sure Fifi Laree goes to touchy-feely school and woman falls in love with two men, one rich, one buff. How does she choose type movies are. Oh wait, what was the ones in the 80s the fucking you broads made us watch? And we didn't know any better because we were like, boobies! And they weren't fully, I mean, we were like middle school and high school. We were like, okay, whatever. We watched Steel Magnolias and Beaches. Those were the two that you fucking broads tortured us with, and why we chase after younger women and aren't going to help. We're not going to visit you in the nursing homes when we're older. We're just not. For that price, you pay the price of us never talking to you again when you're older. So here they are in order. I'll give a quick synopsis in case you haven't seen these, to give you an idea whether you want to see them. I don't know who hasn't seen them, but this is primarily for Marcus. But for any of you in the unfortunate situation as Marcus, you haven't seen Indiana Jones, and Indiana Jones doesn't even make it. That's so these are, you know, Indiana Jones is kind of like Back to the Future. I mean, it may not be the best movie ever, but come on, you hadn't seen it? So number one is Die Hard. This is why Bruce Willis was put on the planet. It's his best work. And basically, he's a cop. He's off duty. And terrorists attack this skyscraper that he happens to be in and holds everybody hostage. But he escapes and he basically liberates the hostages. And that is by far the best movie ever. I remember seeing it in the 8th grade. We had to go with my buddy Rob and his parents, because my parents wouldn't let me see it because it was rated R, and there might have been violence or boobies involved, and we couldn't let our little Christian boy see that, because you'd never run into that ever. Absolutely, that is going to give you inspiration. You want to see what a real man would look like, that's it there. Number 2, Casablanca. This is one of those movies where your old people in your family say, you really got to watch it, you really got to watch it, you really got to, and the more they tell you that, the less you want to see it, because it's just like, fuck, get off my ass. However, this is a movie you absolutely have to see. It's one of the few movies that I have seen that really doesn't have a plot. I mean, there is a plot, but they use it as a vehicle to display wit and charm and cleverness in writing. It is a brilliant movie, and it's one of those you have to watch several times so you understand, okay, what's the plot, and then you'll pick up on, like, 40% more jokes that are just gut-bustingly funny. It's not even meant to be a comedy. It's a drama, I guess, but it is so well written and so endearing and charming. You have to watch it. 3, Kelly's Heroes. This has got everybody. It's got Clint Eastwood, Telly Savalas, Don Rickles, a bunch of actors, like character actors you recognize in the 60s and 70s in TV shows. Gavin McLeod, captain of the Love Boat before he became captain of the Love Boat. Donald Sutherland, Kiefer Sutherland's father, is in this. It is absolutely a must for anybody with a penis. Girls like it too, but guys, you have got to see it. Basically, Clint Eastwood captures this World War II. He captures a German colonel or major, and he finds bars of gold on this guy. And he finds out that there's a bank behind German enemy lines, controlled by the Germans, that's got $14 million in gold. And he sets up a ragtag band of guys to split off from the army and go after it. And I won't tell you how, but God, that is an absolute must. Number 4, Man on Fire. You have to see this. These are all must-sees. These are, aside from Die Hard, which stands out on its own, these are all pretty closely ranked together. I mean, I had to sit and debate, like, really? I mean, it depends on the mood, what you want to watch, but these are just phenomenal movies, and Man on Fire is one of them. Just a guy who's got nothing left to lose. He's an assassin. He's an alcoholic. He gets called down to Mexico to basically be a bodyguard for a little daughter of a rich family. And the family ignores the daughter. You know, they're too busy making money, and he becomes like, and then he actually finds reason to live. And then the kid gets kidnapped. And then he fucking loses his shit. And it's just brilliant. Just fucking brilliant. Denzel Washington. Just probably his greatest role ever. Probably. Number 5. Where to go? Midnight Run. Midnight Run is a genre of movies, kind of like Heat and the Thanksgiving one, which is also great. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Where you have two people who are against each other for whatever reason. Society has turned these people, trained these people against each other, but throughout some kind of trials and tribulations that they experience with one another, they find out that they're actually really great friends, probably best friends, and the tragedy is that society doesn't care. Their roles in society are forced against one another. Now, like Heat, it's Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. Great movie again, by the way. But they are pitted against each other by law. One's a criminal, one's a cop. This is not, they have to take each other out. Basically, Robert De Niro's got to go get Charles Grodin. Robert De Niro is this down-and-out bounty hunter. And he's got to get Charles Grodin in New York and bring him back to L.A. within a week or something like that. And it's just, they do basically a cross-country travel, and they find out, like, they're really great friends, and then I won't ruin it from there. But, and it includes Dennis Ferreira. Dennis Ferreira's in that. Just great characters, and a really, it's kind of, if you're a real man, this one, you get maybe a little choked up at the end on this one, just a little bit. For 5 is Midnight Run, where's 6? 6, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. All right, there are a ton of spaghetti westerns, and what I would also recommend on top of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is Duck You Sucker, which is also goes as the movie Fistful of Dynamite. The Trinity Trilogy. My Name is Trinity, stuff like that. A Fistful of Dollars, Few Dollars More. What was the other ones I saw? Those are the ones off the top of my head. But out of all the spaghetti westerns, which there's a genre, Once Upon a Time in the West was really good. You want to watch The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It's phenomenal. Again, like Midnight Run, two people by society are opposed against each other. And they're not as cordial with one another as other movies may be, like, say, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. But just a great movie. And I won't ruin it for you, but this is the one where the Mexican standoff is there's three guys, trying to shoot at each other at the end. So that is absolutely, I would say, marginally the best of all the spaghetti westerns. 7, McLintock. Fucking fun, happy, enjoyable movie. If you want a movie where you're looking at politics and everything's a pain in the ass and you want escapism, watch McLintock. There's really no point and purpose. It's kind of a taming of the shrew. John Wayne movie. John Wayne is McLintock, and he's the big baron in town, and he runs cattle and all. He's very fair because John Wayne was never the bad guy. And his wife, who was played by Maureen O'Hara, who is separated from him, she's estranged. She's been living in New York and becoming cosmopolitanized, and just she's an elitist and all that. So she comes back to this no-name fucking town, I don't know, New Mexico, wherever they are. And she demands a divorce, and John McLintock keeps denying her, but she's such a harpy. She's always harping on the town. Like, everyone respects McLintock. Everyone looks up to McLintock. Everyone's afraid, you know, well, not afraid, but they respect him. But they're wondering, how can this one woman just fucking own him like that? And it's the inevitable story is how he finally stands up to her. And I'm not going to ruin the end. It's great how he stands up to her. Feminists will hate this movie. They will fucking hate it. But it is 100% true, and it is absolutely a must if you want to. This is one of the original Red Pill movies. This is a must. Before you get married, you have to watch this movie. It is a tutorial on how to train your wife. Because if you don't, then she turns into Marina Hare. But you can always come back. But that, which is an endearing story, an endearing plot. But it is beautiful. I'm not much for one for plays. This is not a play. It's not a musical. I think it originally was, because you could kind of tell. It uses this storyline as a vehicle to demonstrate all this other wonderful, funny, entertaining, enjoyable shit that occurs along the way. So that's my close. So you definitely want to watch that. Number 8, American Beauty. I know I have my detractors with this, but American Beauty, kind of another Red Pill movie. I just liked it. I don't know why. Maybe because I saw it when I was like kind of poor and not doing really well. It came out 2000, so I was a security guard and my career was failed and everything. And I just like the idea of just seeing rich suburb people. That was all it was. And there was something else. Maybe it was the soundtrack. I could not put my finger on it. It was just great. It was just great. Again, I'm kind of actually surprised, because you guys know what a literal asshole I am. Now I think about how many movies are on here without actual plots. Hang on, let me take a note. What was the other one? There we go. I'm going to give you a couple other recommendations. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like McLintock. There's an element of escapism. You're in a completely different world, and you cheer on Lester Burnham, played by Kevin Spacey. Just a guy, again, his wife is a harpy. He's just kind of like, and he just says, enough. Hits the gym, starts running, tells his wife no, reestablishes himself as the man of the household. And it's not even that the man, because it's the man. It has nothing to do with that. It's just a guy standing up for himself. Which adds flavor to the movie. But there's something else about that movie I've never been able to put my finger on, but I like it. I fucking like it a lot. Where's number 9? Oh, I'm sorry, 9 was McLintock. I'm sorry. Let's switch out 7. McLintock was number 7. No, McLintock was number 9. I skipped over number 7, so we switch it out. Number 7, The Great Escape. You must watch The Great Escape. Just watch it. Just do it. It is a classic. Not only do they have all the old actors in there, and not only is it based on a true story, I like the aspect of camaraderie, that even though you're in a prison camp, which was way better than a concentration camp, because the Allied flyers were treated much better. This is a pilot camp, so they're not being used for slave labor. They were treating the Americans a lot better at these German prisoner camps. But how they escape. Steve McQueen makes it a little corny at the end, but it's still pretty good. So that was number 7. McLintock was number 9. Number 8, American Beauty. And so now we're back to the last one, number 10, Sin City. Sin City, awesome. Just awesome. I like, it was new, it was revolutionary. The new one's alright, don't get me wrong. But Sin City's just dark. I like the actors acting. It's just great. Clive Owen, if you don't know who he is, I'm a big fan of Clive Owen. He also, another, just if you want mind candy, Shoot 'Em Up is a good one with him, but that won't make the top 10. That's just like, it's got Paul Giamatti in it. How do you fail? How do you fucking fail with Paul Giamatti in it? So if you want just a stupid-ass movie to watch Shoot 'Em Up. But one you definitely have to watch before you leave this planet is Sin City. And then 2 others I'd recommend, which didn't make the top 10, but I thought about them as I went along. 12 O'Clock High with Gregory Peck. That's the 8th Air Force, or Air Corps. What was it? Because the fucking nerds are going to get... Ooh, it's actually called... Because there was no Air Force. It was the Air Corps, part of the Army. I guess the 8th Air Force. Look it up. And that's a real one. That's very good. And then Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. That's a damn fine movie as well. I'd also... They're not the top 10, but I would definitely include those as, like, must-watch. So that's what I recommend. Anyway, Marcus, young man, I hope that helps you out. I hope that gives you something to look at and watch. You are not going to waste your time with these. I know the prospect... People are reluctant to read books or go to movies or watch movies because it's a time commitment. You're not going to regret any of these. Not at all. Not 1 minute of your life is going to be wasted watching these 24 hours worth of movies, maybe. All right? Just go get them on the Netflix. I'd recommend going and buying them, but you don't have to. But by God, start with Die Hard and see if that doesn't actually change your life. The rest, and they will. These movies will change your life. They're just great. Just great works of art. They're just wonderful. So, best of luck to all of you. Toodles.